Good evening, I'm Brent Schneider, CEO of the First Tee of Greater Richmond. Thank you for joining us under these circumstances. When Henrico County was seeking a partner to manage Belmont Golf Course, they were looking for an organization that was well run, that had a long track record of managing public golf courses with an emphasis on junior golf. We are that organization. And tonight, I look forward to unveiling the new plans for Belmont as well as introducing the First Tee. Tonight's agenda includes introducing the First Tee of Greater Richmond, presenting our vision for Belmont, introducing Love Golf Design and their restoration and renovation plans, talking about the construction process, and then answering some questions. So who are we? Who is the First Tee? The First Tee is a local 501c3, which means we're a public charity. We have a board of governors made up of volunteers and community leaders. We were founded in 1998, and our vision is to strengthen the character of our community. We teach youth development using the game of golf, and we operate two facilities: the Elson Redmond Memorial Driving Range, which is downtown of Richmond. It's a six-hole golf course with a world-class practice tee, and it serves as the home of Virginia Commonwealth University's golf program. It went through about a $1.3 million renovation in 2017, and it's a great facility for our programs and our community partners. We also own and operate the Tattersall Youth Development Center at the First Tee Chesterfield Golf Course, across from the Chesterfield Airport on Iron Bridge. It's an 18-hole facility that was opened in 2000. We have a 3-hole loop, and we see about 25,000 rounds a year out there. The organization's committed to excellence in what we do, and an example of that is the Chesterfield facility is going through a $650,000 renovation with plans on opening back to the public in May of this year. So the annual impact of the First Tee, through all of our programming, we serve over 80,000 youth in the area. Let me break that down for you. 1,500 of those youth are what we consider our core kids. They're the kids that come out to our facilities on a regular basis and go through our evidence-based life skills experience program. Very similarly to how one would go through the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts of America, our kids navigate their way up through our program from a young age, learning golf skills, life skills, and serving the community, with the hope of when they're seniors in high school and ready to go to college, they've completed our program. We're also in 127 area elementary schools as part of the curriculum. We have a signed contract with each school where we've gone in and helped train the PE teachers, delivered equipment that's useful on activity room floors or gym floors, and provided them lesson plans K through 5 that are written through the lens of the First Tee. Each school is committed to delivering those programs, at least 4 units of PE a year to the students in their school. And our hope in this program is to find the kids that are interested in our program and transition them to green grass. About 54% of our kids last year received scholarships, which means they participated in our program at no cost. And we're also our participants are a diverse group. Over 50% of our participants are non-Caucasian, and 36% of our participants last year were female. These numbers far exceed the National Golf Foundation's percentages for like categories. But as I said earlier, we saw about 25,000 rounds last year at our Chesterfield facility. And those of you who have been to Richmond and taken part in hitting range balls downtown or playing the loop know that facility is consistently busy. So our vision for Belmont. Well, first and foremost, our vision is to be able to accommodate our youth programs in another location. We're in over 40 elementary schools in Henrico County, and we see this as a natural fit to be able to accommodate those interested students. So we'd like it to be a showcase for the area. We know Lakeside's a proud community, and we want to be part of that and be part of the fabric of the Lakeside community and be a good neighbor. We see ourselves as programming with the Henrico County Police Athletic League golf programs and being a partner with Henrico County Public Schools and specifically their golf teams. Many of them don't have consistent places to play, and we hope Belmont can be that home for those schools. One of our driving forces around our proposal with Belmont was to create an affordable, inclusive, community-focused space for everyone. Where the history of American golf, and there's great history at Belmont, meets the future. We want to be a home. We want to be a home for public golf groups and leagues. We are consistently doing that at our other facilities, and we see a huge opportunity to do that at Belmont. Our Chesterfield Senior League is one of the most dynamic leagues around in southern Chesterfield, and we've had a lot of intro groups come down to Richmond from some of the biggest companies in our town to learn and be more comfortable on the golf course. And then lastly, we want to create a first-rate championship-style golf course. So to carry out this vision, we've employed Davis Love Golf Design, and I had a chance to meet Scott Sherman, who's the lead architect with Davis Love Golf Design this summer. The firm is currently completing the renovation, restoration of Birdwood Golf Course, which is the course connected to the Boar's Head Inn and the University of Virginia. It's a great facility, and I really hit it off with Scott. And we were talking about the idea of Belmont, and I just knew with the early conversations that we had that these were the right people. They listen, they're client focused, they're small. I mean, it's Davis and Mark Love and Scott Sherman, and I'll introduce them in the presentation later. They're well known for their work on restoring historic properties. They do a lot of handcrafted infield design, and they're very active in the participation of the construction. One of their most recent restorations was on the Plantation course at Sea Island. It currently is the host of PGA Tour's RMC event in the fall at Sea Island. It's a traditional Seth Rayner design, and the design has received rave reviews from the PGA Tour and specifically its players. So let me introduce you to the team. Davis Love III, most of you know and know of, World Golf Hall of Famer, 21-time PGA Tour winner, 2-time Ryder Cup captain. Davis has a passion for designing and being part of this. His brother Mark has been in the golf business for 27 years. He's the co-founder and president of Love Golf Design and has directed over 25 new designs and renovations. Mark's been on property already and is super excited about what's to come at Belmont. And then Scott Sherman is a 30-year pro. Spent 20 of those years guide of Pete Dye. Scott's one of the best in the business, and just to give you an idea of some of the work that he's currently working on, he's working on the Ocean Course at Kiowa to do some touch-ups before the PGA Championship. He, like I said earlier, is finishing up on Birdwood and has done some great work up there, and just can't tell you how excited we are with working with these three gentlemen. Their design philosophy is to really create and, or I can say, restore timeless and historic golf. One of the things we've talked about in walking the property and talking about Belmont is really understanding kind of the soul of the property and what it feels like, and the theme of it. And they sense the great history and the great bones that are already out at Belmont, and are excited about working on that. Obviously, Let the Land suggest original design ideas, and they love subtle strategies to enjoy the mental skills of the game, which, you know, Tillinghast was famous for, and you know, it's kind of ironic. Davis Love was one of the longest hitters of his time, but he really embraces kind of the skillful part of the game and the old school way of designing golf holes, which is really exciting. Timeless style, you can see some of their work. Atlantic Dunes down Hilton Head is one of their recent works on the left, and then Brunswick Country Club in Georgia, some of that old school bunkering that is timeless and that will work on Belmont. So we have been really with the help of some local historians, some national Tillinghast historians, we've really been diving into, along with Love, the history of Belmont and trying to find the original design and what it once might have been. So we've been studying a lot of photos, and these are just some examples to get you started. Here's a good one on the left side, the 10th and 17th hole. I mean, they look very different. This was from the 40s, and these photos look very different than how these two holes are presented today. And our hope in this restoration will be to bring Belmont back to its original design, as you've seen here. You can see that. Let me get back to that slide. On the right side of the screen, you can see I think that's the 9th hole coming up, and you can see the trees over on the right side. I know we have a better picture of that on the next slide. Here you go. 10, 11, and 12 on the left of the screen. You know, some of this the bunkering and how to get that kind of back to where it once was, I know is a focus. And here's the 9th hole on the right side of the screen on the bottom left. You can see that dog leg is very different in that day and than what it is today. So looking forward to getting that back to where it is. So let's talk about their approach and the actual layout itself. So go to the next slide. So the idea, and we mentioned this early on, and you've read it, and there's plenty of questions about it. The 12 holes. The 12 holes will be original holes and original tracking. And so if you look at number 1 on this screen, which is old number 7, I'm going to get up here and show you 1, 2, 3, are old number 7, 8, and 9, if you can follow along with me on this presentation. And we are going to start the construction around the lake, and that will be these will be the first holes that we reach. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 will be across the street, across Hilliard Road, adjacent to Club Road. The routing will be the same. The work that will be done on these golf holes will be new tees, fairways, changing cart paths, the restoration of the bunkers, new greens, select tree removal to get the property restored back to the original design. And then going back over, old 18, which is now new 12, again, a new green, back to the original design. So the rest of the facility, one being on the far in the bottom right of the screen, where you see the practice range, will be our new practice facility with a grass tee, range. On top of that, where old number 2 green is into 3 fairway, you'll see a wedge course and a short game course, and then the putting course will be underneath and kind of below the maintenance facility, with the short course around on top of that, where really old number 5 and 6 existed. So let's talk about the short course. So one of the ideas we had early on was, how do we honor Tillinghast in this short course? We know we wanted to do this. We needed practice facilities that could accommodate our programs. We thought that the facility was can be enhanced by that, but we also wanted a place where, you know, maybe the non-traditional player can come and enjoy the game. And so this short course has been a big hit at our downtown facility, and it makes a lot of sense based on our design. And so the plan will be to have 6 par 3 holes that range from 80 to 170 yards. And what we've done is we've identified 6 of Tillinghast's really good par 3s that he's done around the country, and incorporated them into that kind of rolling land of 5 and 6. And so you may already be Googling these if you're following along. Tiny Tim is a hole that he's done different places. I think probably the most unique one of this list is number 4, the 7th hole at San Francisco Golf Club. It's called the Dual Hole. It's a short kind of downhill par 3 at San Francisco, and it fits really well into the area, kind of coming off of the 6th green. And it's called the Dual. It was the last. It's the location of the last legal duel in the United States, which I think is kind of interesting. And you can see some of these other ones in the reef hole. So we're excited about that, and as these plans become more detailed, we'll obviously share these on our website. This is kind of a concept rendering, and we're working with our engineers to come up with the specific plans. So again, kind of layout summary. Existing holes 7 through 18 will be, the routing will be preserved and renovated. The holes will be restored to the original style of Tillinghast, and with reconstructed greens and bunkers that match kind of his plan. Existing holes 5 and 6, as we just saw, will be a new 6-hole short course based on those Tillinghast par 3s you saw earlier, and there'll also be a large putting course there that can host our programs, or it can host the public We have many people at both of our facilities during lunchtime to come and putt and chip in our different practice facilities as part of their daily routine, and we expect Belmont to follow suit there. And then existing holes 1 through 4 will be the new driving range, wedge range, and short area. So I know that's a lot. Our construction partner is McCurrick Golf. Alan McCurrick, who's in that photo below the logo with Pete Dye, has been on property, super excited. Alan's a pro. He's done a lot of great work. You can see some of the restorations that he's done over the last several years. I mean, these are some of the best courses in the world, and he's really excited about being part of this project at Belmont. So let's talk about kind of the target construction schedule. So we still hope by April 1 to begin construction on the 12 holes, original holes 7 through 18. That would include new irrigation, like I said earlier, renovated greens and surround, renovated, restored bunkers, fairways and tees improved, select removal of trees for turf reasons and playability, as well as some select removal of cart path or replacement. And then approximately in June, we plan on the existing holes 1 through 6, the short course, putting course, driving range, wedge range, and short course. As you know, our world is uncertain right now, and so we still feel like the conversations we've had with McCurrick and Love Golf Design, we believe that these targets will be doable, but things could change between now and April 1st that might push us back a finite period of time. We'll communicate that obviously to the neighborhood, and we hope that doesn't happen. We're ready to go, but if it does, it'll be understandable because of the circumstances in our country with the coronavirus, and we will communicate that to you. Continuing on the construction schedule, our primary goal was to get everything ready and seeded and sodded and sprigged really by the end of October into November, and then the pro shop, which I'll talk about in a little bit, the renovation of that will happen in the late fall and the early winter of 21. With the construction target of the grand opening of May of 21, which we're super excited about. So what are the expectations? As a neighbor and a community member, what should you expect? And the work will be between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. and they'll go 6 days a week. I mean, that's pretty standard in the golf construction business. There'll be some equipment entering from the parking lot, the gravel lane on Hilliard Road, next to existing 17 green and the Stillwell house and Ron Stillwell's house, gates and the split rail fence along existing 10 and 11 off of Club Road. You'll see that, and I did meet with the newly formed Henrico County Belmont Advisory Group earlier this week via phone, and I did have a couple comments on the recent the creek restoration work that's been done over the last several years, and I think you'll find that the work that will be done will probably be a little bit more invasive, but probably not much more than what had happened there, and certainly that's our hope. I'm sure that there'll be days where our neighbors are not as pleased with the fact that they're starting so early, and we're certainly aware of that, and things become really problematic, we would just ask you, like any other neighbor, to reach out to us and communicate to us. Not sure what we will do or could do, but we certainly want to know about it and have those conversations with our construction partners. With that being said, I would like to be able to answer some questions from you. And one of the things that we've done over the last couple months is we've kind of logged the questions that we've received, and in different categories. And so I want to be able to answer some of those. I mean, I think the first one, the obvious, and I've gotten this from kind of day one, is why 12 holes? Why 12 holes? There's some folks that are super concerned about that. And I will tell you that besides the fact that we need the land to be able to build the appropriate practice facilities for our youth and our programs, which is our top priority, we feel like there's an incredible opportunity here to kind of change the way people think about golf in a quality, well-maintained, well-run facility. There are a lot of folks that want to play more golf, and the number one reason they don't is time. And we feel like if we can provide a great experience, inclusive, affordable, that the 12 holes will not be an issue. So that's why 12 holes. We know it's a little weird, but I would just ask you to hang with us when it's opened. It's going to be special, and we want to welcome you out there to be part of that. So what disruptions should you expect during construction? And I just talked a little bit about some of those. We will be working 6 days a week. There will be machinery and equipment out there. And again, I think the key to this, and as I said earlier, is I would just ask you to communicate to me and our team. We'll have a superintendent out there by the end of June to communicate to us, to let us know, when you have some concerns or questions. We just want to be good neighbors. Here's the question: how busy will it be? Right? How busy will it be? And will I still be able to play and get a tee time? And how will that work? Well, I hope it's very busy. Let me kind of break this down for you a little bit. So people have asked how busy in regards to them playing and how it's going to affect them, but also how many kids are going to be there, and what does that look like? So let's talk about the playing part first. So, we will have online tee times. We'll make those available probably a week out so people can make tee times and play. We'll also have and host corporate leagues, as I mentioned earlier. We're doing that at our other facilities. We're doing it very well, and they're very dynamic leagues, ladies leagues, senior leagues. So there'll be an opportunity to play, but if you're just an individual that wants to come out and play with your group of people that you've been playing with for 40 years, there will clearly be an opportunity for you to be out on the golf course at probably a desired time for you, and with those folks at an affordable rate. But we do hope it's busy. It's going to be special, and we feel like people are going to want to play it. The second part of that is how busy is it going to be, and kind of what does it look like during the week with our youth programs. Typically our kids are in school, during the school year, and so we run classes in the afternoon after school, and typically that's a 20 kids at a time for an hour and a half, with our dedicated trained instructors going through systematic programming. A lot of times that happens on the putting course, or will happen on the wedge course, or potentially in the driving range. Very, very rarely does that take up the main golf course. And so, we may have 2 or 3 classes an evening during the school year. And then in the summer, in the morning, we have programming in camps that we run. Typically, it's 25 to 50 kids. And again, we're utilizing most of those practice facility areas, short course, putting course, so it really won't impact the golf course itself. And then on weekends during the school year, Saturday mornings are our busy time, but again, not on the golf course. So it really has been a very symbiotic relationship around our patrons playing golf and our kids being there. So how do you get a question we've gotten a lot, and we're really excited about, and it's the reason we're doing this, is how do you get your kids involved in the program? And there's a lot of entry points with the First Tee. When we open back up downtown, we're closed for the next 2 weeks because of the coronavirus. When we open back at Chesterfield, once the renovation, we'd ask you to stop by and see our facilities, meet our staff, and come out and play. But if you want to sign your kids up for programs now, there's ways to do that on our website, thefirstteerva.org. And we'll certainly have plenty of marketing between now and then to get your kids or grandkids involved in our program. We're about all kids, so we want everyone can learn life skills and be part of our programs. And it's a great evidence-based curriculum that's taught by really well-trained, caring adults in a safe environment. So we're excited about that. I mentioned earlier I'd get to the clubhouse. So is the clubhouse changing? And I want to be clear on this. The current clubhouse, the white historic building, is staying with the county, and that's a building I know that the community votes in and has activities and cards. We've been out there a lot this winter, and I know there's a lot of avid bridge players that are there, and that won't change. That's with the county, and that will remain, as will the tennis courts. But the pro shop and the restaurant will be renovated. We're working with our construction partners right now on what that will look like. There will be food and beverage available in that building, and there will be the bottom of that building, the lower floor that's connected to the cart barn, will be very similar in look and feel to the renovation at Chesterfield, at our Tattersall facility in Elson Redmond. There'll be a place for our kids to gather before class. There'll be a place for the community and our participants to experience some sort of golf technology. We have TrackMan simulators at our other facility. We probably will do something different. There's a lot of really cool new material out there, and so we'll probably do something different there, but there will be an opportunity to engage in some technology around golf there, and a small retail presence. We also plan to renovate and kind of formulate the old snack shack between 9 and 7 on the way through the tunnel, and use that as a check-in location for anyone who wants to get out of their car, has a tee time, and are ready just to play 12 holes. The new number 1, which is currently 7, is right there, and so there'll be food, snacks and drinks, as well as gloves and balls, and a small retail presence at that location as well. So I think that might do it for this evening. I'm sure you have other questions that I didn't get to, and I would just ask you that you reach out to me, and we can provide you information and whatever questions. You can reach me at thefirstteerva.org, and feel free to give me a call, and I'll certainly get in touch I want to thank you again for your time, your interest. We share a great passion for Belmont. Again, we want to be great neighbors, and to be great neighbors, we need to communicate. And so please do not hesitate to reach out to me or members of my team. And we look forward to getting to know you, and we also look forward to having you out in the spring of 21 to unveil and start to be able to enjoy the new Belmont. Thank you very much.